You're listening to Talk with Olena podcast, the podcast for immigration practitioners in Canada. Today, we're talking about one of the big rules that I have in my business, and I think you should have it in your business too. And the rule is that no communication with the client, or really any immigration matter communication, should be done via messages. All the communication with clients should be done only through emails. Well, I know you're already like, no, that's not possible. So let's unpack what do I mean by that and the reasons why I think we should all communicate only via emails with our clients. Before we go on with our video, with our podcast, if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can see me. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, then you just hearing my voice. But before we move on, I just want to remind you that the sponsor of my podcast is Seminars. Seminars is an outstanding and my favorite CPD provider. They have one of the best quality CPDs that I've ever seen and that I've ever purchased. I love their CPDs. Their topics are really relevant, and I just truly love the quality of their CPDs. I think it's just one of the best, most professional CPD providers that we have. So if you need any CPDs, and the end of the year is coming soon, we have to do our CPDs by June, and I don't know about you, but I'm always leaving out of my CPDs until the last moment. So yeah, if you need any CPDs, or just if you need to increase your competency level, which we all should be working on, please go to their website. The website is in the description in bio, and browse what they have to offer. All right, now let's move on to my topic of the day. So the topic of the day is why immigration consultants and lawyers should be handling their communication only via email. So there are multiple reasons. And before you already kind of say no to this idea and you refuse it and you stop the video, I want to tell you that I want you to approach this video not with that negative, closed mindset, but I want you to approach this video with a question on how I can apply this in my practice, how I can make this work in my practice. Because if you ask the question how, then you instantly start thinking of the answers and start thinking of the ways how you can improve your business. Okay, so the reason number one why we should do email communication and only email communication with clients is very simple. It's because, and I'm very passionate about this topic, but it's because we provide professional services, okay? So we provide legal, professional, very formal services. Have you ever seen a lawyer doing a will through WhatsApp Messenger? Have you ever seen a lawyer, chatting and drafting legal documentation or real estate, contracts or any other deeds through Facebook messengers? No. So why we are doing this, why we are chatting with our clients, it's not, in my opinion, and this is maybe very strong worded, but it's absolutely not professional. It's not professional to conduct business through any messengers in our field. Of course, if I was selling chocolate bars, sure, maybe I would sell them through WhatsApp. If I was doing maybe any other type of business, then maybe that would be a good idea to do it through WhatsApp. But the reality is that our business is serious. Like, we deal with people's lives, right? And I don't think it should be done. And don't even get me started on accepting documents through WhatsApp. Like, never, ever this should be even present in anybody's immigration consultant's life, that people send you documents through WhatsApp. Like, I think it is just so unprofessional and not safe. Just not cool to do that. So I feel very strong about this topic. So that's number one. Number two reason is very selfish reason, but it is what it is that through the email is more convenient to you and less convenient to the client. Of course, you're not trying to inconvenience the client, but it's more convenient to you because guess what? Through the email, you can have a proper 24-hour response, and it's just a mental thing, right? Like emails, just mentally we perceive that 24 to 48 hours, that's a normal time to respond to email, right? But well, it's cultural, I think, but still 24 to 48 hours, that's totally normal time frame to respond an email. When WhatsApp messages, people always expect that you would be able to instantly respond, or if not instantly, then within a couple of hours, right? So really, it's just a good thing for business to do communication through the email. It's not sustainable to do business through WhatsApp messengers, even if we forget for a second about not that it's not professional to do that, right? That you probably shouldn't be receiving documents through WhatsApp or even like responding to legal questions through WhatsApp. Forget about that, but it's not sustainable. You cannot, like, how many clients realistically you can handle on your WhatsApp, right? Like, it's just not sustainable. That's it, period. Email, sure, it's sustainable, just simply because you can take longer to respond to messages, you can think about it, you can take longer to respond. And you know what? A lot of times we receive an email with a question, and then, we can take like 2 hours, for example, to respond. And then before we even get to responding to the email, the person already says like, oh, never mind, I figured it out, right? When in like WhatsApp or messengers or whatever messengers you're using, it's just like, because it kind of expected that you're going to be responding right away, it just generates a lot of unnecessary conversations. Also, people, when they're sending emails, because it's a more formal, what we are looking for, more formal way of correspondence, this way clients are more thoughtful of what they're saying, how they're saying it, and whether they need to ask question, right? When in WhatsApp, for example, and I'm using WhatsApp just because I know a lot of immigration consultants are there. So in WhatsApp, for example, is, the guy woke up at 3 a.m., thought about some random question, he just texts you at 3 a.m. Like, this is not kind of conversation that I want to have with my client, right? Sure, you can email me at 3 a.m. I don't want you to text me at 3 a.m., right? Even if it's a business cell phone, right? And I don't see it. Like, still, most of the people, they would actually wait until the morning to email, and then by the morning they maybe already thought it through and they're like, oh, never mind, right? So email just simply eliminates a lot of unnecessary communication. It eliminates it on client side and on our side, a lot of unnecessary communication. Communication with a client is the most time-consuming thing in your practice, so you definitely don't want to do that. And the third reason is actually the most important reason, is that if you communicate through email, the likelihood that you will make a mistake is way less than if you communicate through WhatsApp. Well, first of all, through email, all your staff can be on board with the case. When through WhatsApp, it's really hard to communicate, to keep all the team members, if you have team members as an immigration consultant or a lawyer, to keep all the team members on track of like what conversations have been held, right? And through email, it's just definitely a way more organized way to handle things and way more procedural way to handle things. You can establish certain procedures on how you handle emails with clients when it's very difficult to establish procedures on, again, WhatsApp, right? So that's the biggest benefit. And to end this podcast, I will tell you a story of why I'm recording this, and a story how I messed up recently, and it literally happened just 2 days ago, and everything to blame is WhatsApp. So just before I start with the story, I want to say that I've been communicating with clients, like my practice, Weber Immigration, has been communicating with clients exclusively through the email for years. Like, it's been, I think I switched about 2018 or 19, about that time, like maybe I want to say 19, okay, to be safe. So 5 years. 5 years we've been absolutely, no communication on messengers. It just doesn't happen. but I've had this one case, which is like a friend of a friend kind of situation. I know these people, and they asked me to handle their like certain immigration case. So, we did our regular process. All the communication was going through the email. Everything is great. The process was really, really lengthy. The whole case lasted for about 3 years due to certain circumstances. And, everything was good. Everybody got approved. Anyways, everything was perfect. We were communicating through the email this whole time. And then what happened is that one Sunday, and it was Sunday, the applicant sends me a message with the important information, the date when he's coming to Canada. And it was Sunday, right? Like, I'm drinking my morning coffee, and I was like, great, like the date when he's coming to Canada, right? I'm like, super, great, that's awesome. And that's it. And then, and then Monday comes, I say to my assistant, because I want my assistant, of course, to be in the loop of what's happening with the case. I say to my assistant, by the way, with this applicant, everything is fine. He's coming to Canada. And she said, okay, and that was it, right? And then what happened next is the fact that the client came to the airport. And what I realized, like, they called me because the Canada Border Services don't want to let him in to Canada. And what I realized very quickly is that he came before his spouse, who is a principal applicant, came to Canada. So the spouse is a principal applicant, and she was planning to come like later than the spouse, right? Like the guy. And basically what happened, of course, like as you guys all know, the principal applicant has to land first, and only then the spouse lands, right? So they can come either together as a couple, or it always has to be first principal applicant and only then that dependent spouse, like on the application, right? And I totally overlooked that. And the reason why, like, it's not an excuse, absolutely. Everything, by the way, ended up being fine. Everything is okay. So, like, either way, it's a happy ending. But it was just a bump on the road. But of course, I don't want these situations happening with my clients. And, like, in my practice, this never happens. Like, literally, the last time I made a mistake, knock on wood, it was, like, back in 2020. That was the last time I made a mistake in an immigration case. Like, I rarely make mistakes in immigration cases, but this was one of them. And my mistake was that I just simply didn't catch the fact that, like, he just texted me on WhatsApp on Sunday, and he's like, coming to Canada. It was like very vague, like, I'm gonna be in Canada before April. And I'm like, okay, but I didn't put it together that earlier they said that the spouse, the principal applicant, is going to be in Canada only May. So I felt really, really bad. I know that it all stems from the fact that it was sent on Sunday to WhatsApp, and from the fact that, it's just a friend of a friend, right? So we felt that they had my personal number and they sent this information on WhatsApp. And this all was a problem, because on the other side, what should have happened is that What actually should have happened is that even if they have my personal number, I should have said, please send us, and that's what I do all the time, like, please send us this email at this email address. And the client would, like, send the email, and then what would have happened, my assistant would ask them a question. When are they coming? What's the date? What's happening? And then we're going by our regular process. And in our regular process, like, we have all those questions, and we have the question about the spouse and the principal applicant, and my assistant would have catch this even if I didn't. But my relaxed brain on Sunday didn't catch this, right? And because it was WhatsApp, it was taken lightly. WhatsApp message, that's another reason, right? Like, WhatsApp chat is taken lightly, or Messenger, or any messenger you're using. Emails, those are formal means of communication, so they're not taken lightly by you or by client or by your assistant, right? So very, very simple mistake like this led to my client being stuck in the airport and having, like, the stress of his life Everything thankfully ended well. They didn't send him back. They let him to Canada and everything was fine. But it's just, I know that procedurally, in terms of running an immigration business, all of this situation just came from the fact that I didn't follow my own rules. And my own rule is that we do not provide legal advice over messages. We do not handle any immigration related communication over any messengers. And even that super, see you in April, even that was not supposed to happen, because had it been sent to email, the outcome, I can guarantee, would have been completely different, because I would have been in my Monday working brain, my assistant would be in Monday working brain, and plus we would use our templates that we have the questions, okay, when you're coming, who is coming, and all of the questions, and then we would have thought about the fact that, oh wait, it's not gonna work, you cannot come before her, right? Anyways, long story short, don't do it. Transition immediately transition from talking to your clients on messengers to talking to your clients only through emails, because this is the professional way and the only way to handle immigration cases of your clients. Okay, thank you so much for listening, for this crazy experience that I had, and I hope you learned a lesson from my mistakes instead of having a mistake of your own. And I hope to see you in my next episode next week.